Any wigs this time?
Maybe. Yay!
Hey! Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to our Friday night webinar. I hope you've all had a fantastic week and perhaps indulged in some ice cream with the warm weather we've had. You'll see this evening we have the normal duo with us. We have Carl Horton and Will Murphy. We're also thrilled this evening and really, really lucky. We have Shazia from the British Dental Action Group with us. Hi, Shazia.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Now, we're good, thank you. We're really good. Once you've been on this webinar, you may never be the same, so I have to apologise.
Okay, look forward to that then.
Right, gentlemen, now play nicely this evening. Will Murphy, tell us how your week has been.
My week's been pretty good. I got over the sort of crazy driving bit on Tuesday and Wednesday where I was up and down to Hertfordshire. One day was for mentoring somebody with oral surgery and going over some suture techniques. So that was all good. Nice to see, a young up and coming surgeon who, is keen on pushing forward and learning the ropes. And then Wednesday was normal surgery day, and Thursday over in Dorwich. And today I've had the day off. So like a proper bank holiday. So I woke up feeling a little ropey from responsible drinking. Probably drank a bit too responsibly, but then ticked every Easter weekend box by going to the garden centre. Buying a bit of kit, doing the lawn, a few man jobs around the house, and that's it. It's all going well.
Very good. Is that the first cut of the lawn this year, Will Murphy?
First cut of the lawn, yeah.
Very
done,
good.
Out of the way. Looks
Very
immaculate.
Does it?
Yeah.
Very good.
I've got my little nail scissors out and just gave it that final, like a billiard table it is.
I'm sure it is, with your ruler and...
Absolutely.
Perfect. And then, of course, we're just going to get snow and rain for the next few days, so
probably.
You'll just have to look at it through the window.
That's it now for another couple of months.
You've been a busy boy this week. Carl Horton, what about you? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been busy. I mean, today was a bit of a surprise because I thought I had the day off. And then last night looked at the emails and realised I was actually in clinic today. So it was, which were... So how come?
Yeah, had anybody reminded you, Carl?
Yeah.
It's a holiday.
Yeah.
Why are you working?
What did I tell you, Will Murphy? Because it's got an A in the day.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Lots of it was a couple of the full arch cases, different ones to the ones we talked about last week, just to see how they were getting on. One's going through the next stage of the final prosthesis, and the other one came in to tell me that it looked a bit wonky on the first stage, and that was fine. He's got a slight cant smile, and he was a little bit numb last time, so we're talking about how we're going to correct that so he has a beautiful smile.
Was that an all-on-4 fitted on the day?
Yeah, both were actually.
Yeah, and they can be tricky to go from that model to...
Do you know he had grossly carious teeth, so there was nothing for the lab to work with. So they had to reconstruct him a whole. Well, there was, but they were all grossly carious stubs because there was nothing restorable. One of those ones you see in the textbooks of what gross caries looks like. And
I'm sure the final result will be like in the textbooks.
Do you know what? It looked nice. It's got just a very slight cant on it because the lower teeth are quite worn down as well, and we're going to have to do some reconstruction on those.
I'd say it had character.
Character is the right word. Character is the fantastic word. And just sort of how we're going to fix those, and then a lovely response from a chap that we fitted. We did a block graft on him, so it's taken quite a long time because that had to heal, and then we put the implants in, and they had to heal, and then we've now fitted the bridge today, and the response was just amazing. He couldn't stop smiling.
No, I know it was lovely.
Yeah, it was over the moon. So that was today. So it's quite a good job that I actually remembered that I was going into clinic today to do all that. And then during the week as well, some beautiful patients again. Am I allowed to talk about the one chap?
Give me a clue.
Wolfman.
Yes, in code maybe.
He could be known as Wolfman.
Yeah. So this gentleman, Well, it turns out, just through chatting away to him, it turns out he owns a wolf sanctuary where he looks after wolves that have been neglected in zoos. Which was an amazing story of where he's, what he's done and where he's going. So it's just fantastic talking to him and learning about what he does with these wolves that he looks after in this sanctuary and how he looks after them. And it's not like they're in a cage; they're in a wood, huge amount of acres of wood, and he interacts with them. So they're like dogs. It's just a fantastic story, absolutely amazing character.
Sounds like a Netflix series.
Do you know what? It is. I think most of the consultation and most of the treatment has been spent talking to him about the wolves rather than actually anything else. It's been absolutely amazing. And so we finished his work, and just a lovely chap. But anyway, that's enough about me. I'll be quiet.
About you. So Shazia, thank you so very much, as I say, for joining us this evening. We really, really are thrilled. We'd love it if you could explain to the audience out there what the British Dental Action Group actually stands for and what you do, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. British Dental Action Group was actually just a bit of a platform for associates at the beginning of first lockdown. Actually, I hadn't been on my Facebook group for a number of years, and my husband, he's an anaesthetist, a hospital consultant, and he does intensive care. And back in just before the first lockdown in January, February, he was all fully PPE'd and, getting fit tested and everything. And then he'd come home and ask me about, what did you wear when you were doing your drilling and filling? And we were still wearing our normal surgical masks. And every day he'd come and get annoyed that I was putting his department at risk because he was dealing with ITU patients, and COVID was a big thing. Everybody was so scared. And so as the days passed, I thought, well, let's turn to the BDA. Couldn't find anything. Looked at various websites thinking that, there must be something for dentists, because my husband kept saying, look, you do more aerosol than me. And we intubate patients, but they're asleep. They don't even cough back. So he was really worried, actually. And we've got 3 young children. And at that time, I think there probably wasn't a single parent who wasn't worried about, if anything happens to us, what will happen with the kids? And so then I thought, what, Facebook, there's some dental groups on there. So after many years, I went back into my account, and again, Facebook groups nobody was talking about FP3 masks. I was the first person to mention that, you've got to get these FP3 masks and you've got to get fit tested. And there's certain groups there, they just knock you down, shout you down. And I thought, okay, this is a serious matter. PPE is absolutely essential right now. We're still working. We need to protect ourselves. And so anyway, I just felt, I spoke to the associate I work with and I said, what do you think? Should I just set up a new Facebook group? She said, go for it, just do it. And then I thought, okay, I'll do it. So lots of associates and nurses and hygienists, therapists started coming through, starting talking about their practices not opening up. Some practices weren't even answering the phones to them. So these people were left without any pay. And so then all that dynamic from the PPE, which were all shifted towards the pay. So we started then talking about the pay issues. And I mean, although the NHS was supposed to be well looked after compared to the private dentists, associates and nurses and therapists were actually losing jobs. Their contracts were being terminated. And on the group, so everybody's talking, everybody's telling me, look, I've been to the local area team. They're saying it's a contractual matter. We're going to the LDC. They can't really get involved. BDA are asking us to upgrade to the higher membership. And bearing in mind, I mean, there were nurses going to food banks at that stage. And there was one associate who really made me change my route. She was a single mom. And when she she was just crying on the phone to me, saying, look, I've asked my daughter to give me her university loan so I can pay my rent. What shall I do? And I just felt helpless for them. They were going around in circles like headless chickens, and I just thought there's got to be something. And so I just started a petition, actually. That's where it started. I started a petition, and I just wrote down like just the basic fact that the CDO has honored the pay, but it's not being passed on. As soon as I got 1,000, actually, 1,000, sorry about my earbuds in there, the 1,000 signatures, I then sent it off to the CDO and NHS and any email I could find, actually, just sent it off. And then lo and behold, I started getting messages to say that NHS are actually, you know, you've created the concern and they are looking into it. And then luckily, Jason Wong came forward and he helped us with a letter which was sent out to all the principals to say that, look, you've got the 100% pay, you know, do the right thing, honor the pay. And that helped some, you know, some principals that were just, you know, testing the ground if they could get away with that pay, you know, just keep it. Some of them paid up, but there was a lot. They just forced these contract variations upon a lot of associates, giving them as low as 30 to 40% of their pay, just because we were in lockdown, we were not working. By the time June happened, and we were, thanks to the private dentist, of course, pushing to open up again, when these principals needed us back, some of them actually terminated our contracts. One of my contract was terminated. On the Sunday, I was told not to bother coming in on the Monday because she didn't need me anymore. And so these stories were rife. Absolutely, everybody was really stressed. And at that point, then I thought, okay, what's the next stage? What do we do? Because no authority really was stepping forward here. And principals were getting away with murder. And so I thought, okay, now I need to know, what does the actual GDS contract say, the contract? Do we have any rights on this as associates? Do we have any rights? So I started raising some money for to pay a barrister to give us some advice. By the time I reached £3,000, I thought to myself, hang on, the BDA, I pay the BDA membership. Why aren't they doing this? So I turned to the BDA then, and I took my solicitor. We had a meeting with James Goldman, and I said, can you pay us so that we can get his advice? He said he'd get back to me in 24 hours, which he did. But he said they'll take it on. They'll do it for the BDA. So I was happy that at least, you know, somebody's going to step up now. And they came back with the advice, which was not positive. It basically said that the NHS contract and the NHS and the provider, they have this relationship, and any third parties on the contract do not have any rights. Normally, a contract would have a third party's right, but the NHS has removed that so that DCPs and associates cannot make any claims. So that then left us with no way to go. And then I thought, what do we do next? And then at that point, I contacted the NHS, and I've set up a website called the BritishDentalActionGroup.com. I created a pay dispute survey on there to ask associates to log all their complaints so that I could present them to the NHS and the authorities to give them a whole file of cases. And then luckily again, Jason Wong and the CDO office picked up on that, and they took that information to the NHS meetings and practically forced them to create an NHS, it's called the Compass Pay Dispute Survey. So now we have somewhere to officially log our complaints. Now, we don't know whether they will get investigated, but we've been promised that they will. So anybody who hasn't been paid must log their dispute on Compass. We've been told that the money will be clawed back. And so we don't know whether we'll actually get the money, but that's the next the next fight, I think. So that's what I've been up to so far. Yeah.
Blimey.
Wow.
I can now see why you have been given the title of Lockdown Hero, Shazia.
I mean, there's a heck of a
Oh
lot
my
to pick
goodness.
apart there, isn't there? I mean,
There
thank you very
is.
much. You summarised what you've done there, and so I'm kind of a little bit overwhelmed by a lot of the things that you've done there, and I'm kind of processing a lot of the things that you're saying. And so do you feel then you've identified some things between NHS? We're talking NHS associates, aren't we?
Yes.
And from your point of view, how did you feel then when you had that kind of your contract was terminated with immediate effect? I'm assuming that you said.
Well,
was there any notice given to you?
1 week notice. I was given a week's notice. Yeah, I was given a week's notice because I was a new associate. I had been there 6 months. So the day we were supposed to sign our contract, lockdown happened.
Yeah.
And although I've got emails and WhatsApp messages saying that your associate pay will be this, your UDAs will be that, because I haven't signed on the dotted line, the principal thinks she can get away with it. But from what I know from solicitors, that I've actually got a contract. That is a contract. It doesn't have to be a signature on dotted line.
Yeah, it almost feels like there's with certain principals, there's a big divide between the principals and their views and how the associates feel. And so if we were to summarize what as a group your actual mission is, what would you say that it was, if you could summarize that and say what you actually sort of stand for, what are your values?
Well, our mission is to have official recognition on the contract that we work. Our livelihood is that contract.
Yeah.
And if we don't have any legal rights on there, then, I mean, which industry doesn't have any legal rights on the contract that they're working on? We need our rights. So, yeah, absolutely. Number one mission is to have rights on an NHS contract.
I mean, it's almost standing alongside like the gig economy in many ways, you know, with the delivery drivers and, you know, Deliveroo, who are basically can be picked up, let go at the drop of a hat. And it's quite staggering to think that dental associates kind of are falling into that category, basically. And it actually seems as though now people like Uber drivers and Deliveroo drivers are actually getting working rights, you know. And it's staggering to think after, you know, however old this profession is, that one, there are principals out there who would behave in that way and just let people go like that. And that there isn't provision within contracts for that. I mean, that, you know, I'm staggered by that.
It's incredible, isn't it? It is. It's really kind of, it's sad and so disheartening to hear it. I mean, really disheartening. And I mean, hats off with everything you're doing to kind of address this. In terms of, just so that I fully understand things a little bit, and I might, you know, please, I'm a little bit stupid sometimes when it comes to certain things, and I don't kind of fully understand it. So what we're saying there then is that some of these principals are given the contract value, and that goes to the practice, let's say, the principal, and then the principal is responsible then to pay the associates with that contract value that was in the contract as well. So we're talking about two separate contracts. We're talking about the NHS contract that is with the practice, and then the associate gets part of that, and the associates were going in and doing some of the work, but they're not being paid what they're actually doing, and that's being withheld by the principal in certain circumstances, and you're trying to address that and get them their money back that they're owed. And that just staggers belief.
It's basically there's no legal rights on our part of it.
Okay.
So our part of it is the BDA contract.
Yeah.
Which is not really a very strong contract.
And did you have an agreement with your principal on the number of UDAs that you were supposed to provide?
Yes, an agreement. In principle, you know, we had an arrangement how much I'd get paid, and she even gave me a figure for COVID as well. But I mean, my situation is secondary. The group was actually created for others, and then it happened to me about 3 months later, and even then, I haven't fought my corner until recently when the group went a bit quiet, thank God. Then I thought, I need to sort myself out now.
Yeah, I'd imagine it probably became all consuming for you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, I had to take an emergency holiday last August. I was just too stressed. We went to Turkey for a week.
It was pretty widespread.
Yeah.
How many members have you got?
3,600.
So you've gone from 0 to 3,600 in the space of how long?
About 8 months.
Okay, and are these all associates, or is this associates?
No, there's
nurses?
some principals, some nurses.
Some principals as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the next stage? Sorry, Will, you probably hadn't finished your question. So what's your next stage?
The next stage is to try
another holiday.
Yeah, desperately needed. Absolutely.
£5,000.
Definitely. The next stage, I mean, in terms of the group, to get a seat at the table. I mean, I've got a seat at the table, by the way. I was asked to present for the CDO to all the stakeholders in November.
Yep.
So I had to do a presentation about all of this. So I've got a seat at the table with the CDO office. And now I've been told that I'll be involved in contract reform. And so I'll be the associate voice. So, yeah, I mean, the group is going in I mean, if you think about it, 8 months ago, we had no voice whatsoever. Now we do. We actually, and as you know from the group too, on a daily basis, we get all sorts of issues coming through. And I've given my name to the issues, and everybody else posts anonymously. So I've put my neck on the line for other people to vent, because I think it's really important. Mental health issues are very high at the minute. And if these people feel stuck, we don't want any horror stories. So I've put my neck on the line so these people can come forward, get their query answered. And it's created a lot of awareness. And for me, I suppose getting my website and members on there so I can get all the information on the website, because things get lost with notifications on Facebook, and not everybody's on Facebook. So yeah, just develop the group.
So
have a voice for the associates.
What happened to you and your job? When did you start working or getting back to it? Did you find another job?
So luckily, I took this job on because she was close to me. Thank God I had only given her 2 days. I had dropped my days at my full-time job where I was the last 6 years. So because I cut down my days, they actually paid me a lot less because I had cut down on my targets. And then I did actually get another 2 days, September, I believe. I did get another job. And then I've taken the Wednesdays off for the group. So I'm not at a huge loss because of it.
Okay.
And you're a mum of 3?
Mum of 3, yes.
Oh, my word.
Amazing.
Must be the master of time management.
Oh, and 11 plus. If you know anything about 11 plus,
I do.
We had 11 plus going on as well.
We've been through 11 plus 4 times in this house.
But I have to confess, my husband took care of that when he could, poor thing, because he was on intensive care. So we were very fortunate. Our son did pass. With good marks.
Where's he
Honestly,
going?
I would have been ever so guilty if he hadn't, because I really didn't help him much.
So where's he going?
He's going to King Edward's, Edgbaston.
Very good. Oh, really? Yeah. When? Next year?
September. Yeah, September. His sister's already there.
Ah.
So, yeah. So I can't really give up on work at the minute. It's private.
My partner Sarah's son, he's also passed the King Edward's exam, so they'll be in the same year.
Oh, lovely. Oh, good. That'd be nice. We'll exchange names later.
Absolutely. Maybe potential dentists in the future.
Oh, no.
Don't do it.
No.
If they watch this. No.
Shazia,
my kids don't want to know dentistry.
Shazia, can I ask a question? Through all of this, I mean, it's been a lifeline by the sounds for so many people, and I would imagine incredibly emotionally tiring for you and everybody who's a member. Is there any part of it that you would do different now, looking back? 8 months ago? Is there anything that you would do different?
No. I honestly, when I say I put my neck on the line, I didn't mince my words. I was polite. Maybe, no, I don't think I would have been more aggressive, because thankfully there are some aggressive people on the group who do the job. So you could say I'm the good cop.
I like that. I like that.
No, not change anything, because I feel blessed that, you know, people came forward to help us. When I started this, I thought, you know, I might be out of a job forever. But the thing is, you know what? No, I wouldn't change it. In fact, I would encourage everybody not to be scared. Worst thing is you lose your livelihood, but you know what? There's always another way.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very sort of, I can't explain the feeling that must have been like, to think, right, okay, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my career on the line and step up, because I feel so strongly about this cause. In terms, you said something very kind of, and it's kind of maybe slipped under the radar, and I don't want it to slip under the radar, but anybody that goes onto the Facebook group, if they do want to post anything, they can do it via you anonymously. Yeah. So anybody that has a concern can raise the question to the group on Facebook and do that on an anonymous basis. So if there are people still out there that, and the group's still open to join, isn't it? So you can.
Yeah, so basically the group is under my name. It was my Facebook account, and I, at the time, just created it as a small platform. So it's not a public group, but if you search Shazia Ahmed and or type in, actually there's a page for it, for the group. There's a holding page. So if you type in British Dental Action Group, the link for my group is there. You won't be able to find it just by typing it in. So it's difficult to find, but if you on Messenger, or send me a friend's request, or just go on to the BritishDentalActionGroup.com website. That's the website of it.
Yeah.
Just put your GDC number in and join through that way, and I'll give you the Facebook link, because all the action is happening on the Facebook group, and if you're not there, you are really missing out.
Yeah, and it's nice, pretty much protected environment.
Yes.
Where the people can say what they want to say, either anonymously or unanonymously.
Yes.
If they feel they want to.
And they won't be shot down. They'll be given an answer. Yeah.
And I think that's you know, it's nice to. I think it's important to have that, whoever you are and whatever career you're in, you know, a place to kind of vent or ask questions or whatever it is in a protected environment where you know that the repercussions aren't there. It's a bit like whistleblowers, isn't it? We've got laws for whistleblowers. Not that they're much good, but you know, they're there and they should be there. And the health service has been picked up on that, because that is all about what we call black box thinking. You know, and we look at it and we try and fix it. And that's the whole point of it, is to make a better working condition for everybody. And that's the whole evolution of the process. But like Will said,
I've even had principals contact me and ask me, look, what's the fair way of dealing with this situation?
That's really good, isn't it? I mean, that's nice to hear. I mean, that's what you want, isn't it?
And there's more ethical principles.
Yeah.
There's only a minority of the unscrupulous ones.
Yeah.
But they're ruining it for all of them.
Well, bad apples and all that.
The bad apples. Yeah, and that's why I made a point that the Compass Pay Dispute Survey is investigated, because even if, I mean, from our group, we had about 600 complaints and BDA quoted at around the same figure. So there's just over 1,000 maybe who have lost their income, their jobs. But, you know, just clearing up that 1,000 will resolve all the issues in the profession in terms of associate pay and DCP pay, etc. So it's not a huge job. It just needs a bit of de-weeding.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a huge job.
I love the way you say that.
Everything is difficult for the NHS.
Yeah. And how's your husband feel now about you working and things like that? Is it a bit more, you know, things are getting a little easier for both of you?
Has he stopped telling you off?
Oh, yes. Yeah, when we got our FP3 test masks, they're ahead of the curve. So I'm glad to be married to him, because, you know, I get to know what the right thing is and tell our profession. I mean, I just don't understand. We're such an important part of the, you know, health service, yet we're the forgotten few. It's just mind-blowing, really.
It is.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, we are front facing, but we're not seen as front facing, and I think that's the difference. It's you know, it's very, very, very different values in different countries. But you know, that's the way it is, isn't it? I guess.
I think the last 12 months has opened a lot of people's eyes, I think. So I don't think we'll be seen like that again. But it's a shame that it's taken something like this.
Yeah.
This whole webinar really started when we kind of put our heads together and publicly started talking about different types of masks and protection and things like that. And everything else has just run on from there, hasn't it?
It has.
It has, yeah. 12 months, 12 months anniversary.
Crikey, yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah,
it would be very much so.
A lot of good has actually come out of the COVID, the pandemic.
Yes,
I'd agree.
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of negativity, but I do agree with you, Shazia. There is a lot.
There is a silver lining. Absolutely, there is.
There really, really is. Well, gentlemen and ladies, what a lovely evening. I want to say a personal thank you again to Shazia. We do appreciate hearing you. I'm sure I speak on the behalf of these two lovely gentlemen. We would love it if you would join us again, please.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
It goes so quick. It goes so quick.
I know. Will, thank you.
Thank you.
Will Murphy, thank you yet again.
Welcome.
Go and drink.
Is he going to try and disappear quick? Where's that finger?
No.
Carl, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Hope everybody out there has a lovely Easter. Indulge in chocolate just as long as you clean your teeth properly, quite clearly.
Responsibly.
Absolutely. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.